When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up, whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up, whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where...
Okay, let's see here. Simulation, philosophical, casual, in the relaxation, sandbox, open world, exploration, RPG, atmospheric, single player, experimental, god game, experience, funny, great soundtrack, cooking simulator, procedurally generated, family friendly, and adventure. Okay. I have no idea what this game is all about at all, but we'll discover together. Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Invisible Let's Play the Project. I am your host, Invisible, from Invisible's gaming channel, the stage of the stage that's giving voice to the voiceless. And this, hopefully, shall be Project Let's Play Everything. The game, the PC game from 2017. Obviously, searching for this game is not easy because its name has too many translations and understandings. Anyway, according to what I know about this game, it's a sandbox game and it lasts for 2 hours and a half exactly. So it's hardly possible this will be a long play, not a let's play. We'll see what happens. I haven't touched it even once. We will be playing today online, that's why I have my Steam client open. And we'll see what happens. Before I start, I'd like to pray peace be upon all of my subscribers, the commentators, followers, fans, and friends. Everyone from the Beasts of the Other Empire and everyone from Discord server, freaking to my friends by name, peace be upon Thunderstrand Gaming, P9 Gaming, Marcus, Dr. Crashback, ICYY, Rogishan, Rodan, Cryfield, CPTV123, Matthew, Eleventoron, Sagata Quality 5, Bobbing Suppress, Sparfan28, Sawi_Week, Crazy Dragons 412, Heavy Metal Driver 666, Torosco, and Grayson. This hopefully shall be the project number 98. Yeah. If anything wishes to go now wrong, let's just quickly go wrong so I can start clean. Why do we have 64 frames dropped? This is not a promising start. If OBS can stream this, it's good. If we can play it, let's go. We have here 36 achievements. Let's see what happens. Let's play everything, literally everything. I have no idea about this game at all. I never played it before, and I have no idea what it's about. Everything. This is a sandbox game that lasts supposedly for 2 hours and a half maximum. We'll see what happens. Synchronized achievement. This game belongs to Intername. Invisible. A start. Move and control view. Was for movement view with mouse button. What is this? Am I controlling? Think X. Am I controlling a sperm? Where did this come from? X think. What's the meaning of this? My star? Think. What am I supposed to want here? X. A seal? I'm controlling a seal now. Huh? Yeah, a seal. I'm controlling a seal. Is that supposed to be my compass? You are harbor steel, open animal, thoughts, information, etc. Let's go for this icon. Since my compass looked like a thingy, is telling me to go after it. Settings, please. Solution, language, okay, good. Subtitles, 1. Dates, thoughts, disasters. Okay, good. Okay, how do I go back? See? Help. Okay, let's go. X. Hi, Invisible, you found me finally. We've been waiting for you for such a long time. A stone. Notice my thoughts. He had icon. Look out for others with this icon. We are here to show you what you're able to do and help you navigate everything. Good luck. A stone. I just spoke with a stone. And I'm still controlling a seal. An elephant? X. Everything sings. Singing is how we communicate. It's how all things communicate. Singing helps things find or avoid one another. It deepens bonds between some things and separates others. It's how things announce their existence. So sing all day long. I want to hear what you sound like. So does everything else. If other things hear you, they might sing back. Sing to other animals, press space, mid by. This is not how elephants. A lot of my friends complain about the cold. Not me though, I'd hate to be someplace warmer. But I suppose if I really hated it why would I be there in the first place? Okay, let's go to the compass. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. Food synthesis. Hey, how far do you think harbor seals go? Might not always feel like it, might not always feel it, but you took trillions of generations to harbor seals getting mixed up the way. It's incredible you made it through and finally arrived here. Press C to exit the game. There are harbor seals around here are of you from back then. So C is for automatic advancement. Each with their own dreams and their own lives to live. As you meet other harbor seals, you will sometimes feel inseparable from them. And find where you really start and end is up to you. Other harbor seals are nearby. Join them and press by holding V. Okay. Already spoke this question. Where are the harbor seals? I think they're supposed to be here. It said nearby. I don't see anything nearby. I think it's a closed circle. Well, the sets I recall seeing were here in the... Okay. We are making a big group for ourselves. In order to join, must be close to another harbor seal. We have 5 harbor seals with us. Now we have 5 harbor seals. Okay, this is kind of funny, but I hope the joke doesn't oversell its welcome. We started with 1 harbor seal, now we have 5. Let's see what happens. There you are! Over time, you might find there is no right or wrong path to take here. As you explore, you might feel that parts of you need to go their own direction. Because you can't control everything at once. Or at least not yet. Try letting go of a few things. Release some harbor seals by pressing C or holding release. There you go. Release them. Now what? Press B to join him again. Why? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. Now what? I'm looking for more icons. For more everything icons. It's supposed to be a sandbox game. Can finish everything in under 2 hours and a half. Hey, what do you make of all the small things around here? All the plants and the little creatures, are they here for you, or are you here for them? It's hard to imagine that everything could be here for each other. Because you can only see things from a harbor seal's perspective. Just as I can only see from a cedar perspectives. But if you want to, you can always see things from different points of view. Try it. Descend, get close to something small, hold down, left click, use WASD to release the view. I jumped now. I jumped to... I have no idea. But that looks funny. Can descend below. You are Arctic wolf added to the animals information. I'm now an Arctic wolf. And I'm doing endless cat wheels. Can descend hold, yeah. Let's try something else. I'm cat wheeling kind of stuff. Now I'm a plant. I want to quick up by using grass clump. Open the plant. Now I'm stones. I'm feathers. I'm literally nothing but feathers now. Hi friend, looks like you've seen things from a little thing's point of view. Now you might be wondering what it's like to see things from the other way of view. You see things from bigger points of view. Other points of view you find which is the right one. Space between things. Let's try. Now I am controlling a frog. Ascend, get closer. Ascend by right click mouse button. So left mouse button for small, right is for big. Ascend. Now I'm a flower, a plant. Okay, can I please jump somewhere? To something that actually moves. Wild wheat. Press enter. Send above. I'm moving as a plant. Okay, I'm now an acorn. Traverse everything, find one place or another. Okay. Let's ascend. I need to find a way to reach the mammoth. Just too much for Is it just me, or why is everything too far away? Better. Am I stuck in the smaller sized world? I'm trying to reach that mammoth. Send. How do I send even more? Send. I send. I'm just a feather. No. I somehow ascended. Now I control the mammoth. You are a woolly mammoth. What there is?
I find it a little difficult to say what the subject matter of this seminar is going to be, because it's too fundamental to give it a title. I'm going to talk about what there is. Now, the first thing, though, that we have to do is to get our perspectives with some background about the basic ideas which influence our everyday common sense, our fundamental notions about what life is about. ideas of the world which are built into the very nature of the language we use and of our ideas of logic and of what makes sense altogether. And these basic ideas I call myth, not using the word myth to mean simply something untrue, but to use the word myth in a more powerful sense. A myth is an image in terms of which we try to make sense of the world.
There's nothing smaller. I couldn't catch it. By the way, currently the game is controlling itself by itself. I'm just declaring my Prototype piece because I think its job is done. What do you want me to do next? Just go and seek for more icons to read them? Let's see here. Seals. Why do I keep seeing seals? I want some birds. A fly. And now, I am now at 3. Yeah, I'm now a moving 3. What's this? A star. You are spruce. Ascend. I want to ascend more higher. Ascend higher. I'm now a land, the entire land. And I can move the entire island with me. Wow. Can no longer ascend. A curious thing. Ascend. I am planet Earth. I am planet Earth. Okay. Oh. Okay. I can. Let's descend. Have an icon there. A world that people...
You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree. So let's say the tree which grows apples is a tree which apples, using apple as a verb. And a world in which human beings arrive is a world that peoples. And so the existence of people is symptomatic of the kind of universe we live in. Just as hair on a head is symptomatic of what's going on in the organism. But we have been brought up not to feel that we belong in the world. So our popular speech reflects it. We say, I came into this world. You didn't, you came out of it. We say, face facts. We talk about encounters with reality, as if it was a head-on meeting of completely alien agencies, and the average person has the sensation that he is a somewhat that exists inside a bag of skin. the center of consciousness, which looks out at this thing and what the hell's it going to do to me? I recognize you. You kind of look like me, and I've seen myself in a mirror, and you look like you might be people. So maybe you're intelligent, maybe you can love too. And perhaps you're all right. Some of you are anyway. You've got the right color of skin, or you have the right religion, or whatever it is, you're okay. But there are all those people over in Asia, Africa, and they may not really be people. When you want to destroy someone, you always define them as unpeople.
You are sand continent. Let's change the continent. No. No. Go to the ice continent. Let's visit the ice continent. What do we have here? Hi! Houses. What is this? Yeah, even houses can move. Amazing. Oh, point of interaction. You are around the house. I know. Life mostly involves going out and entangling yourself with others. I wanted to show you another way of getting mixed up. A very beautiful thing you can do, and that's dancing. To dance is to move in a pattern and not toward anywhere in particular. Make yourself the destination and enjoy, never quite arriving. Dancing always takes two, but the more the merrier. Everything dances a little different, so try doing it with different things. Join two or more things and press B to dance. Yes. Bear. Let's have a dancing bears collection. The swing of things. Okay, B, we said. Stop moving and press B to dance. What is happening? We need more? Progress. Three bears. 4 bears. Another idea altogether.
We have this hostility to the external world because of the superstition, the myth, the absolutely unfounded theory that you yourself exist only inside your skin. Now, I want to propose another idea altogether. Billions of years ago, you were a big bang. Now you're a complicated human being. But so we define ourselves as being only that. If you think that you are only inside your skin, you define yourself as one very complicated little curlicue, way out on the edge of that explosion, way out in space and way out in time. And then we cut ourselves off and don't feel that we're still the Big Bang. But you are. Depends how you define yourself. You are actually, if this is the way things started, if there was a Big Bang in the beginning, you're not something that is a result of the Big Bang. You're not something that is a sort of puppet on the end of the process. You are still the process. You are the Big Bang the original force of the universe coming on as whoever you are. See, when I meet you, I see not just what you define yourself as, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. I see every one of you as the primordial energy of the universe coming on at me in this particular way. I know I'm that too. But we've learned to define ourselves as separate from it.
Stop. Speak to dance. Press 8 to dance, you moron, not B8. The power bell is ready to be born. How? Press X. Oh! 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 You dancing, you mean? Oh my god. I just now realized something. I just now realized that I just had an orgy of polar bears. It's not dance. Press A to breathe. Oh my god, I better leave this area. Say something else. Sure. Jump. Try and do something. Someone else. Another tree. Can trees even breathe? Yeah. Now we have 2 trees with us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 trees. Now let's dance, let's breathe. Hold X to keep producing more spurs. Okay, now from this. It's about time for me to jump away. Okay, ascend. Let's visit another continent. The grassland continent. Huh? X. Fruits. No such things as ethics.
What I would call a kind of a basic problem we've got to go through first is to understand that there are no such things as things. That is to say, separate things. That is only a way of talking. If you can understand this, you're going to have no further problems. I once asked a group of high school children, what do you mean by a thing? And first of all, they gave me all sorts of synonyms. They said it's an object, which is simply another word for a thing. It doesn't tell you anything about what you mean by a thing. Finally, a very smart girl who was in the group said a thing is a noun. She was quite right. A noun isn't a part of nature, it's a part of speech. There are no nouns in the physical world. There are no separate things in the physical world either. See, the physical world is wiggly. The clouds, mountains, trees, people are all wiggly. And only when human beings get working at things, they build buildings in straight lines and try and make out that the world isn't really wiggly. But here are we sitting in this room all built on straight lines, but each one of us is as wiggly as all get out.
on the road right now. Let's go up. This is... That's an eel! The electrical fish eel. There are more eel. Let's ascend. Go up. I'm trying to become a cloud. Now I'm a cloud. Is it possible for clouds to breed and start? You are a citrus cloud, okay. Let's breed clouds. Have some rain. Can I? It. Ascend. Continue. So there is no other way for me to ascend other than another cloud. Ascend. Let's go and just do you see some icons around here? There. Let me jump from. Let's go to the sun. Now everything has to listen to my gravitational.
Now then, when you want to get control of something that wiggles, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? You try and pick up a fish in your hands, and the fish is wiggly and it slips out. What do you do to get hold of the fish? You use a net. And so the net is the basic thing we have for getting hold of the wiggly world. A net is something regular. And I can number the holes in a net. So many holes up, so many holes across. And if I can number these holes, I can count exactly where each wiggle is in terms of a hole in that net. But in order to do that, I've got to break up the wiggle into bits. I've got to call this a specific bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle, and this the next bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle. And so these bits are things which I mark out in order to talk about the wiggle, in order to measure it, and therefore in order to control it. But in nature, in fact, in the physical world, the wiggle isn't bitted. So the world doesn't come thing. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ocean waves, and the universe peoples. And as the wave, I wave at you and say, you. The world is waving at me with you and saying, hi, I'm here. But the way we feel and sense our existence, being based on a myth that we are made, that we are parts, that we are things, our consciousness has been influenced so that each one of us does not feel that. We feel we have been hypnotized, literally hypnotized, by social convention into feeling and sensing that we exist only inside our skins. That we are not the original bang, but just something out on the end of it. And therefore we are scared stiff. Because my wave is going to disappear. And I'm going to die. And that would be awful.
Let's ascend even more. I'd like to ascend more. Let's get outside of the galaxy. We already went to the solar system. I want to ascend more. Ascend more. Can I find the other audio files? Currently we are at the very tail of the galaxy. How do I ascend? Need to search for something bigger to ascend to. Galaxies. We are at the moment just controlling the solar system. What of this? That's a galaxy. Thank you. Now what is this? Ascend. Yes. Where am I? You are blacklit. What is this? What is this? Sphere. There's nothing larger than you nearby. Where am I? What happened? What is this? Cinder, everything is the same. Where are we? Okay, a new one. Icon. What a superstar cluster.
You are a fluke. You are a separate event. And you run from the maternity ward to the crematorium, and that's it, baby. Now, why does anybody think that way? There's no reason to, because it isn't even scientific. It's just a myth. And it's invented by people who wanted to feel a certain way. They want to play a certain game. Camus said there is only really one serious philosophical question, which is whether or not to commit suicide. Should you or not commit suicide? This is a good question. Why go on? And you only go, game is worth the candle. Now, the universe has been going on for an incredible long time. And so, really, a satisfactory theory of the universe has to be one that's worth betting on. It seems to me, absolutely elementary common sense. If you make a theory of the universe which isn't worth betting on, why bother? Just commit suicide. But if you want to go on playing the game, you've got to have an optimal theory for playing the game.
Spara, grazie. Settle. I find the other audio files. Looping. Send again. Diffuse Nebula. This one there is nothing at all. They're just swimming in. Everything hears itself sinks. Descent. Descent. A solar system. Another they are drinking descent. Descent. Scale cyclist. Everything is within everything. Roanoke. Now I'm a horse. Okay, tell me, how do I finish this game now then? Since I have support mostly everything. Stance, the sprint. Good. Okay. How do I find the next audio file? Hold on. Star heartbeat. You are Juniper. Can I become a boat? Okay. And we have a new idea bubble. Let's go into this. There. Juniper. Some grass.
If there is any such thing at all as intelligence and love and beauty, well, you found it in other people. In other words, it exists in us as human beings. And as I said, if it is there in us, it is symptomatic of the scheme of things. We are as symptomatic of the scheme of things as the apples are symptomatic of the apple tree or the rose of the rose bush. The earth is not a big rock infested with living organisms, any more than your skeleton is bones infested with cells. The earth is geological, yes, but this geological entity grows people. And our existence on the earth is a symptom of the solar system and its balances, as much as the solar system in turn is a symptom of our galaxy. And our galaxy in its turn is a symptom of the whole company of galaxies. Goodness only knows what that's in.
Okay. This game is more philosophical than anything else. And when they said I am going to play a game, it just literally mean pick a game where I can control anything. What control? Fly. Oops. Some another such Oops. I can't control them. It's shitty for a second. Bounce. Rather good plan. Three. Can we win? Stop that predict. And we now rain. A very big storm cloud. Scent. Am I to expect that every single planet here is just the Earth in a way or another?
When, as a scientist, you describe the behavior of a living organism, you try to say what a person does. It's the only way in which you can describe what a person is. Describe what they do. Then you find out that in making this description, you cannot confine yourself to what happens inside the skin. In other words, you can't talk about a person walking unless you start describing the floor. Because when I walk, I don't just dangle my legs in empty space. I move in relationship to a room. And so in order to describe what I'm doing when I'm walking, I have to describe the room. I have to describe the territory. So in describing my talking at the moment, I can't describe this just as a thing in itself because I'm talking to you. And so what I'm doing at the moment is not completely described unless your being here is described also. So if that is necessary, if in other words, in order to describe my behavior, I have to describe your behavior and the behavior of the environment, it means that we've really got one system of behavior. That what I am involves what you are. I don't know who I am unless I know who you are. And you don't know who you are unless you know who I am. In other words, we're not separate. We define each other. We're all backs and fronts to each other. We and our environment, and all of us and each other are interdependent systems. We know who we are in terms of other people. We all lock together. And this is, again and again, the serious scientific description of how things happen. And any good scientist knows that what you call the external world is as much you as your own body.
Planets. Where's the next lesson at? Scent. It's just physically a philosophical game. Fighting galaxies together. This is bad because now we'll have a dance of death. When galaxies together, go on a trip. Bye. Have a dance of death here. Starts. That's it. Yeah, even galaxies are now breathing and having intimacy together. It's complete. Galaxies. Great galaxies. So many. This is it. I have no idea where we're at. Finally! Some. Is it taking?
Your skin doesn't separate you from the world. It's a bridge through which the external world flows into you, and you flow into it. Just, for example, as a whirlpool in water, you could say because you have a skin, you have a definite shape, you have a definite form. The whirlpool is a definite form, but no water stays put in it. The whirlpool is something the stream is doing. And exactly the same way, the whole universe is doing each one of us. And I see you today, and I recognize you tomorrow, just as I would recognize a whirlpool in a stream. I'd say, oh yes, I've seen that whirlpool before. It's just near so-and-so's house on the edge of the river, and it's always there. So in the same way, when I meet you tomorrow, I recognize you, you're the same whirlpool you were yesterday. But you're moving. The whole world is moving through you. All the cosmic rays, all the food you're eating, the stream of steaks and milk and eggs and everything is just flowing right through you. When you're wiggling the same way, the world is wiggling, the stream is wiggling you. But the problem is, you see, we haven't been taught to feel that way. The myths underlying our culture and underlying our common sense have not taught us to feel identical with the universe. but only parts of it, only in it, only confronting it, aliens. And we are, I think, quite urgently in need of coming to feel that we are the eternal universe, each one of us. Otherwise, we're going to go out of our heads. We're going to commit suicide, collectively, courtesy of H-bombs. And, all right, supposing we do, well, that will be that, and there will be life making experiments on other galaxies. Maybe they'll find a better game.
So your philosophy says everything belongs to everything else, and unless the humans can come to a conclusion like that, just continues in circle. Clusters. So that's good. Go up to the upper layers again. Try this time to search someone. Trying to find more audios. Speaking of which, how many achievements do I have still? We collect it. Skill cyclist, communicator, everything in the same sender. Ready to think, everything feeds itself to itself. Everything opens itself wider and wider. Coming, standing, it's fed itself. Wow. Have frame stroke. Except you're formless. So just basically it says that some green leaves everything. Over how to use this. Yeah, for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Send. Let's very small. Is that a black hole? It is. This is a black hole. It showed me some point of interest. A black hole. My best favorite creation existence. Place where physics and matter do. Is that a pulsar?
I wonder if it's ever struck you how curious a thing it is that most of the things that we experience, we regard as things that happen to us, which we ourselves do not originate, which are events expressing some sort of power or activity that is external to ourselves. And if you consider that, you realize that what you mean by yourself is rather narrowly circumscribed. Even events that go on in our own bodies are put in the category of things that happen to us in the same way as things that go on in the world outside our skins. If there's a thunderstorm or an earthquake, well, it happens to you. You're not responsible for it. But so in the same way, when you have hiccups, you didn't plan on it. If you have belly rumbles, you had no intention of doing it. And as to the catastrophic act of getting born, well, you had nothing to do with that. And you can spend all your life blaming your parents for putting you in the situation in which you find yourself. And this way of looking at the world in this sort of passive mood as something that happens to you goes right down to our general feeling about life. It goes down to the way in which we have been accustomed to look at human existence as a precarious event in a cosmos that, on the whole, is depicted as being completely unsympathetic and alien to our existence.
The pulsar. I entered the black hole thinking I'd go to the ultimate singularity. Now I am a bacteria. I'm bacteria. Let's dance, let's breathe. Make more bacteria. I was about to swear if I chose to enter a black hole and suddenly I find myself inside some kind of makeshift place. Galaxy, it would be completely sensitive. This is bacteria. Like sensible. I know. Am I a parasitic worm now? It's like a hair. That's it. What am I? Crystal? Crystal. Sent. What is this? I don't see any more icons. I want some. Is this an amoeba? Crystal charts? Crystal chart. Send. So I think those two are similar. This is supposedly what's inside a black hole. Ascend. Speak.
If you're reared with a 20th century, or shall we say an early 20th century common sense, which is based on the philosophy of science of the 19th century, you regard yourself as an accident, a biological accident, in a stupid universe, which is mechanical, but has no feelings. A vast, pointless, gyration of radioactive rocks and gas in which you happen to occur. Of course, if you don't have that point of view and you are more traditional, you look upon yourself as a child of God, and therefore under authority. In other words, there's a big boss on top of all this. And you better watch your P's and Q's, because that Almighty is looking after you with the attitude of, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And when you look at the world in that image, or in the other image that it's a stupid mechanism, either point of view you take, you don't really belong. You're not really part of all this. Or to put it in the strongest possible way, it is quite alien to our thought that the external world, which is defined as something that happens to you, and your body itself as something that you got caught up with, it is quite alien to consider all that as you yourself. Because you see, we have such a myopic view of what oneself is.
Baroque. Ascend. I'm supposed to be in a black hole. Ascend. Why am I in a planet? I was supposed to be inside the planet. You are alien. Seven. This is Superstar Cluster. Stars. Lots of clusters. Ascend. Wow, we have now the point of justifying.
Now, we come here to an extremely important principle, which is the different points of view you get when you change your level of magnification. That is to say, you can look at something with a microscope and see it a certain way. You can look at it with the naked eye and see it in a certain way. You look at it with a telescope and you see it in another way. Now, which level of magnification is the correct one? Well, obviously, they're all correct. but they're just different points of view. When we examine our bloodstreams under a microscope, we see there's one hell of a fight going on. All sorts of microorganisms are chewing each other up. And if we got overly fascinated with our view of our own bloodstreams in the microscope, we should start taking sides, which would be fatal, because the health of our organism depends on the continuance of this battle. What is, in other words, conflict at one level of magnification is harmony at a higher level. Now, could it possibly be, therefore, that we, with all our problems, conflicts, neuroses, sicknesses, political outrages, wars, tortures, and everything that goes on in human life, are a state of conflict, which can be seen in a larger perspective as a situation of harmony?
Cinder, everything is the same way up. What am I? Our sodium. Send even. So this is supposedly the smallest thing that exists. And you are a spherical structure. So we need the size for structures. This stuff. Ascend. Ascendant, we become I'm oxygen now. Now I'm still. Snow part. Ascend. Snow. This is a small. Ascend. Affirms. A house. And another point of interest here. 5, 6. I am the very sword. I'll say it. Palisade.
And you could say, aha, At last, I see, I got the point. I've seen how all this makes sense. But what this insight depended upon was your overcoming the illusion that space separates things. That is to say, the space, the interval between your body and mine. The interval created by birth at one end and death at the other. And then after somebody's death, then somebody else's birth. These are events with intervals between them. And normally we regard these intervals in time and these intervals in space as having no importance, no function. We tend to see the universe itself as really consisting in all the stars and galaxies. That's what it is, that's what we notice. But the space in which all this happens is sort of written off as something that isn't really there. But what one has to realize is that the space is an essential function of the things in the space. After all, you can't have separate stars unless there is a space around. Eliminate the space and you will see you couldn't have this phenomenon at all. And vice versa. You couldn't have the space. They wouldn't be there in any sense whatsoever if there weren't the bodies in it. So the bodies in the space and the space are two aspects of a single continuum. They're related together in exactly the same way as a back and a front. And you just don't get one without the other.
Where are we now? Super massive sun. I better figure out something quickly because this game is so much relaxing. I'm about to fall asleep. Either that or I'm too tired because I haven't eaten anything yet since I woke up. So what is the exclusive event? It's supposed to be something happening, so that's not icon. Start.
So the moment you see that intervals, that space is connective, you can understand at once how you are not just to be exclusively defined as a flash of consciousness that occurs between two eternal darknesses. That you consider that in the darkness that comes before your birth, there was no you, and in the eternal darkness that follows your death, there is likewise no you. And I'm going to discuss these matters not by appealing to any special spooky knowledge, as if I had been traveling on the higher planes and knew all my previous incarnations and therefore could tell you authoritatively that you are much more than this individuality. I'm going to do it on a basis of complete common sense, that everybody has access to the facts.
Future star. Yes. You know what? Su questo fondo do you mean by autoplay? Schedule schedule. Health controls and growth thought ascend skill something. Okay. Thoughts. Release. Fly. Turkey. Being a place automatically dropped. Turkey. Just so. I love it. Our friend should be coming down. And stay so much selection shift to start Jacob can add supposed to be skeleton distances was name frustrated that job lost in it so you start to second that I sometimes that technically the game has no ending. You just sandbox it to leave it board. Sandbox. So I need to speak him from Center.
Life is a pattern of immense complexity. And what you call yourself as a living organism, say, I am my whole body at the very least. Now, what is that body? That body is recognizable, and I recognize my friends when I meet them again, and you recognize me. Although the last time any of you saw me, I was absolutely something entirely different from what I am now. Just as the flame of a candle is never a constant. A flame of a candle is a stream of hot gas. Only you say the flame of the candle as if it were a constant. Well, it is a recognizably constant pattern. But in exactly the same way, we are all constant patterns. And that's all we are. The only thing constant about us at all is the doing rather than the being. It's the way we behave, the way we dance. Only there's no we that dances. There's just the dancing. There is no thing that whirlpools. There is the whirlpool, and in the same way, each one of us is a very, very delightfully complex undulation of the energy of the whole universe.
The longer changes observed by the system. Thing does it differently while it does everything. The longer changes observed by the system. You know what? So, sent. How long have I been now playing this for? 1 hour and 46 minutes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Supposed to just separate. God, I am seriously about to sleep. So everything is just your typical sandbox game that you just keep discovering stuff in it and try to sell something items with it. Finally, at point of listen, I was about to literally press credits as I'm getting the very about to fall
Because
asleep.
life is basically a game of hide and seek. Because life is pulsation. On and off. Here it is, and now it isn't. And by being this pulsation, we know it's there. Now, from those very tiny fast rhythms, which give us the impression of continuity, there are also in this universe immensely slow rhythms. And these are very difficult for us to keep track of. And they impress us and depress us as our own life and death, as our coming and going, which goes for what is to us such a slow pace that we can't possibly believe that it is really a rhythm. We think of it as our birth, as something quite unique that could never occur again, because we're so close to it, you see, and it's moving so slowly.
Okay. Stone. Seriously, nothing happening. Used to be I can't print it, and sometimes I miss it. The apocalypse is going to happen in 541 to 51 seconds. Do you have any other lessons for me before I decide to press on credits? Your face must just smell like I guess.
The process of growth, the basic process of biology, is one in which lower orders are always being superseded by higher orders. But the lower order can never figure out, or only very rarely figure out, what the higher order is that's taking over. And may see it as a terrible threat, as total disaster, as the very end, but can never be aware that the principle of growth always has and always will continue. Because that's what's going on. But you never know what the next step is going to be. Because if you did know, you wouldn't take it. Because it would already be past. Do you understand this? That any certainly known future is an event of which we can say, you've had it. And in that sense, it's past. When we play a game, the outcome of the game becomes certain. We at that point cancel the game and begin a new one. Because the whole zest of the thing, and which takes me back to the idea that this whole thing is a hide-and-seek game, is that you don't know what the next order coming up is.
God, I am fighting myself to remain awake. Here. Had I had a webcam, you would see me literally fighting myself to remain awake. Send. I like the way he's explaining stuff, but again, I don't agree with everything he says. I need a quick break. Hold on.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm. Dances, the human dance, the flower dance, the bee dance, the giraffe dance. And that's what this all is, it's jazz. This is a big jazz, this world. And what it's trying to do is to see how jazzed up it can get. How far out this play of rhythm can go.
When you came into this world, there gradually arose into being the sensation of I. And you feel that you are I just as much as I feel that I am I. But all the time, everywhere, there are other I's starting up. Whether they be human, animal, anything you like. They be in other galaxies, etc. Always, they're starting up. And so the feeling that we call I is how everything feels on the inside.
You can get a certain vision of life where everything is seen to be a complex pattern of rhythm.
Okay, I'm back finally. We have 2,950 frames drop here. And according to what I have seen here, regardless how long you keep playing this game, it's never ending. It's simply never ending. I have this, I can have this load, but not have love. I am nothing. Am I just supposed to keep exploring the area? That's it. This is technically what a sandbox game is about. A sandbox game is literally just about exploring the area and making your own fun, making your own game. Nothing more, nothing less. I never expected any of this to happen. Even though it's been going on longer than forever. Try to collect as many existential ideas as possible. I'm just trying to collect as many audio files as possible so I can understand where this is all going to with this lesson by the professor. Otherwise, this game is just a time waster. Believe it or don't, I think it's about time we change things a little bit. Because literally this game is never ending. I want to go read that thought bubble. Everything is all the system integrator on smart orders. The cause of each motion is nowhere to be found. Only the effect each thing an expression of another. And that other is an expression of yet some more. So, but my shape is too small to stop. Look at you can dance. I know I can dance. I don't want to do it. Where's the step? I can sense what is around me. And me being here impels. I still sometimes feel alone, and that's all right, I suppose. Can I find any more highlights to go and listen to the... Yeah, there is one there. Why can't I only just see this? Am I supposed to descend? Satellite. Square source. Where's this at? Very far away is the answer for that. Ascend. So now we can find this. Thoughts and ideas. Trust star. Hi. Planetary system. Diffuse nebula. Superstar cluster. So what is that here? Hi! Audio file. Premier. Scanning system tested.
We have this rather myopic way of looking at things. And we screen out from attention anything that is not immediately important to a scanning system based on sensing danger. But quite obviously, you as a complete individual are much more than the scanning system. You are in relationships with the external world that on the whole are incredibly harmonious. The energies of life in the form of temperature, light, air, and food, and so on, are streaming through you all at this moment in the most magnificently harmonious way. When anything is constant, it says, okay, that's safe, it's in the bag, you needn't pay attention to that anymore. And therefore, we eliminate systematically from our awareness all the gorgeous things that are going on all the time, and instead only become focused on the things, the troublesome things that might happen to upset it. Which is all right, but we make too much of it. We make so much of it that we identify our very selves, I, ego, with the radar, with the troubleshooter. And that's only a tiny fragment of one's total being.
Start the holster. With the basics. Send. They're not good with me. Diffuse nebula. Send. Send. Send even higher. I'll go back to being bacteria. You want a helium? It's not helium. Setting. What's this? Send. What's this? Dirt particle. I'm nowhere, obviously. Send. We're not in the city. Shall we get to the city? I talk about? I have no idea. I just made it to a civilized day. Got a can of food. Ascend to ascend more. That was nearby a trash can. Now we are litter trash. Highlight finally. We're trash. We're trash can now. Amazing. This is a lamp. Let's go to the night lamp.
You very soon realize that your existence is not something that is just the hopeless little creature that's suddenly confronted with a great big external world that goes gah at him, and eats him up. Every tiniest little thing that comes into being, every minute little fruit fly or gnat or bacterium, I will go so far as to say is an event upon which this whole cosmos depends. This thing goes both ways. It's not only that every little organism which exists depends on its total environment. The reverse is also true, that the total environment depends on each and every one of those little organisms. So that you could say this universe consists of an arrangement of pattern in which every event is essential to the whole thing. Now, we screen that idea out of our consciousness in exactly the same way that we screen out the perception of space as an important reality. Just as we pay attention to the figure and ignore the background, so we see one way of looking at things, mainly that the organism is very frail against the environment. It lasts a long time, the environment, but the organism only lasts a short time. What do you mean the environment lasts a long time? What does the environment consist of? Just a lot of little things. When you get far enough away from all the organisms and the little bits of things, you see the environment in another scale of magnification. But actually, the whole thing is arranged in a polar system where the enormous depends on the tiny and the tiny depends on the enormous. And you get a relationship between these extremes, which can be called a transaction. They always go together. So in this way, we are always, as it were, overemphasizing a certain aspect of our experience.
Don't worry about becoming a wise pigeon. Instead, just avoid the arrogance and the pride. And the constant need for pleasure, pain, and popularity. The new is the capacity to keep calm and provoke others to care for them. I finally became a pigeon. Now, enjoying my flight. Huh? It has been some time since we last saw this icon. Very long time, by the way, since we last saw this icon. What's up? Highlight, a very big highlight. Thoughts are the friction between things and other things. Thoughts would never exist if everything thought it was the same thing. As you go around listening to things, their thoughts will make impressions on you. When you go out and experience life, you will have your own thoughts and reflect things you've listened to and absorbed. Give thinking a go. Just try not to take it too seriously. How do I think? Press M to open it. Wow! And I was the one about to stop the game itself. To its afflictions. I have lots of ideas.
If you're reared with a 20th century, or shall we say an early 20th century common sense, which is based on the philosophy of science of the 19th century, you regard yourself as an accident, a biological accident, in a stupid universe, which is mechanical, but has no feelings. A vast, pointless, your skin doesn't separate you from the world. It's a bridge through which the external world flows into you, and you flow into it. Just, for example, as a whirlpool in water, you could say, because you have a skin, you have a definite shape, you have a definite form. The whirlpool is a definite form, but no water stays put in it. The whirlpool is something the stream is doing. And exactly the same way, the whole universe is doing each one of us. And I see you today, and I recognize you tomorrow, just as I would recognize a whirlpool in a stream. I'd say, oh yes, I've seen that whirlpool before. It's just near so-and-so's house on the edge of the river, and it's always there. So in the same way, when I meet you tomorrow, I recognize you. You're the same whirlpool you were yesterday. But you're moving. The whole world is moving through you. All the cosmic rays, all the food you're eating, the stream of steaks and milk and eggs and everything is just flowing right through you. When you're wiggling the same way, the world is wiggling, the stream is wiggling you. But the problem is, you see, we haven't been taught to feel that way. The myths underlying our culture and underlying our common sense have not taught us to feel identical with the universe, but only parts of it, only in it, only confronting it, aliens. And we are, I think, quite urgently in need of coming to feel that we are the eternal universe, each one of us. Otherwise, we're going to go out of our heads. We're going to commit suicide, collectively, courtesy of H-bombs. And, all right, supposing we do, well, that will be that, and it'll be life making experiments on other galaxies. Maybe they'll find a better game.
I'm the one who's having more ideas. Sure, make me see it. Just not right now. Car. Must stop yourself going back to the things you complained about. Assume they never going to change and with no effort pursue karma. look into the intentions of the example this realize. See from their point of view and understand them that are capable to the applications of our own. I've always thought being sorry. Another icon. So the more I read of thoughts, the easier I can find icons.
And we say now, what is important about people? Is their unique individuality. And we have been given an immense psychic investment in our own individuality by our upbringing. What are you going to amount? What are you going to contribute to human life? What's your particular destiny going to be? It's a fine idea. But the thing we don't understand is that it won't work, this great idea, without being balanced with its opposite. Just as you can't have the back without the front. So you cannot have the values of a unique personality unless at the same time everybody recognizes that there is another level at which we are not unique at all, but that I am you and you are I. See, every one of you feels that you're the center of the universe and that everything else is happening around you in a circle. You can turn around and you can see sort of equally far in all directions, especially if you're in a ship in the middle of the ocean. So you're in the middle. And it's true from the standpoint of astronomy. We live in a curved space-time continuum, that is to say, in a universe at which every point may be regarded as the center. Consider a sphere. Here's a ball. What point on this ball is the center of its surface? You can see at once that any point can be the center of its surface. So legitimately, all points in the universe are the center.
Everything needs to work around just here. But you need to move yourself with others to get it finished. Sunny mornings make me nostalgic. I haven't seen my children. Send. I find some more or more seasons are very fast. It's got to all be some kind of massive simulation. How would I know what is it? It's not possible. Set. This okay. Set. Set. How many more ideas do I have to collect? There you go.
We are all like the nerve ends on your own skin. See, at every point on your skin, there's a little nerve end going beep and getting information from the outside world. Another and another and another, all over. And they all constitute your total sensitivity. So in the same way, when all these people sitting around here, with their little eyes and little ears and things, they're going beep, and they're all really one common center called I, which is looking at itself from ever so many different points of view. Only we are so close to it, and we are so absorbed in the different ways each one of them is doing, that we neglect the community underneath. But we don't realize, you see, that just as we know how to do this, we know equally well how to turn the sun into light, how to blue the sky, how to blow the wind, how to wave the ocean, how to digest food, and I might add, to be digested and transformed. But the pattern keeps going, and it's always you. Only you see, you have this marvelous capacity to transform yourself without knowing that you're doing it. Therefore, you keep surprising yourself, and therefore you keep on doing it. Because if you didn't surprise yourself, you wouldn't go on doing it. It's just the very fact, you see, that you seem to be the victims of a thing you don't understand, and that you seem to conclude your life every time in a wipeout called death, where all your control goes, is just exactly that opposite condition to what you call being alive that allows you to be alive.
See here. Right. I'm not sure, but it looks like it will be so many. Right. Right and wrong here. Pass and that's me. Highlight. Turn particles were around for far back 20 times sparking. Something that spreads into particles everywhere. Something still share your way fine to what I just unknown particle. Every particle is in existence, an expression of the skin, known as part. It's completely useless. Join with something, some category. So simple. Hi, bye. And not to all. to learn and outside and inside. Set. See. So. I think I am here. I'm certain of it. I can't see myself. I think I am. I'm affecting this. That's a lot. It's singing, and I am. The limits of my form touches the ground constantly. I cannot seem to do myself. This first keeping from flying through. It's also keeping from touching it. Some kind of collider keeps me from moving. This collider would appear to fit exactly my physical state. That's making me solid. So the solid goes from the UI. Is that what I am? A transparent essence of thinking around them. I mean, well, probably something shitter. Very special. Shitter gives me form. I know myself as out of possible. Then in feel and it's nothing. This is breaking the fourth one. So which makes me solid from a invisible. Which gives me form. Simon. Where among these two things is the real me? Am I the solid nothing or and from there it will emerge sockets. That's for the mornings are loneliest for me, not sure about it. Is there something very quick to
One of the first things which everybody should understand is that every creature in the universe that is in any way sensitive and in any manner of speaking conscious regards itself as a human being. That is to say, it knows and is aware of a hierarchy of beings above it and a hierarchy of beings below it. If you take such a tiny creature as a fruit fly, which lives only a few days, it is aware of all sorts of weird little animals and objects and spores floating in the atmosphere which we don't even notice unless we've got a microscope around. And it criticizes them as being inferior animals and all that sort of thing, whereas human beings are things that it doesn't comprehend. They're as much outside its intellect as a quasar is outside ours. And we see these far-off objects floating in the heavens, and we have only the vaguest idea of what they may be. But there is, I think, a fundamental principle that everybody must understand, and that is the principle of relativity. That is to say that wherever you are, and whoever you are, and whatever you are, you're in the middle. That's the game.
So much philosophy. So much philosophy. Okay, now what? For everything you managed to let go of, hold on to this, you would only in this exact moment. The rest of the life, either good forever or not. Life is a tiny thing in the tiny donut. And the greatest fame Sparkle can't have anything. Sun never stops and never will stop. Just goes on. It's not your fault, and if others aren't harmed by it, most of it. Accept. Kill. Trio. Around here is changing constantly except for me. The same as always I have changed. Can I say the same for Ish? She could be as boring as me. Fine. A new method. Highlight also.
When you stand and you can see a horizon all around you to exactly the same distance, you're in the center of a circle because your senses extend a certain direction in all directions and therefore give you the impression of being in the middle. Now, everything in the world feels like that. And also it has its own kind, which look natural to it. You see spiders and hydras and sea urchins and so on don't look very natural to us. We say, well, I wouldn't want to look like that. But they say when they see us, well, what kind of an awful thing is that? And what a lot of nonsense it does. Because the definition of a person is where you look from. And they, you see, in their situation, feel just as cultured as we can possibly feel. And they have their distinctions and their snobberies, just in the same way that we do. Because you see, they dig all sorts of things that we don't even notice. We think a person is cultured because they play the piano or the violin or they read poetry or they have a big library and they have paintings all around and they have a fancy house and so on. And we say, well, there's a person of culture. And we can see at once that this is really some rather elegant human being. But when you get down into the world of fishes, they have exactly the same thing. Only, instead of depending on collecting a lot of books and things like that, it is the precise way the very subtle wiggles of a tail, the little tremors of vibration that makes one fish a very superior fish as compared with other fish. And all the other fish look at that one and say, oh my, to be like that, what a genius. To be able to do just that little extra thing, see? Because they're very sensitive. Even airplanes in formation can't begin to do what birds and fish can do in their communal swirling dances that they do.
Is that? Finally, the highlight here. As you experience all the universe things, each thing also experiences you. Things leave their mark on you as you leave your mark on things. And somewhere inside you is an impression of everything you've ever seen. A good memory of things you can revisit at any time and feel what it's like to meet them again. You always free to transform yourself into anything. Transform yourself, transform you to bring up the transformation. Just this is bad. This is bad. Because I have all the hotkeys connected to OBS. I can't do this. So you're telling me that once I am all achievements, it's the time when the game ends. Currently, I already got 30 out of 36. It's the ability to transform itself. A very bad explorer, formless form, structuralist, thoughts connector, come to everything. Everything I'm against. One great self-driving mind. Are strategist. You are everything. Everything goes together as one. Think about itself. Things will be things. Transforming to self. Flower child, transforming to flower. State world. Everything has no dimensions. Cold blood. Everything finds itself in piles. Broken hearts. Everything finds itself in hearts. Transformer. Everything transforms itself over and over. Cemeteries and cemeteries watches itself dance. You are nothing. Everything is nothing. Destroyer of worlds. Everything destroys itself. No such things. The big thinker starts to know itself. This is it. Everything knows itself. Everything is everything. I cannot do any further than this. Not only because we are already beyond 2 hours and a half, but also because I am too tired to keep on going. In that it will be it. No, it will not. It's more like this will be it for everything. Tell me. So let's quit. This is all just too much philosophical. If I'm going to do this, this will do you one final favor then. Which is simple. There you go. Let's this is a really good game if you've got so much time to waste. Otherwise, it's too much relaxing. Too much. I am genuinely about to fall asleep. Multiple times I already said I wanted to fall asleep. So I take myself not to sleep because really, you're not doing anything at all. Just exploring the world. Going up and down or collecting the things as minds and ideologies. You're just figuring out what you want to be. You are. This is too much to have. So we reach finally again. Special thanks. Since also the kids themselves are actually going to call this a gameplay. In my eyes, this game is done. I am not an achievement hunter. If you're an achievement hunter, you go and collect everything there is to collect. Otherwise, honestly, there's nothing at all for me to do here. It's a sandbox game, meaning you just make your own fun yourself. I can't believe I thought this would take me streams after streams. Seriously, we're done. And yeah, close out. God, this is Tarek. Go for it here. Manage. Uninstall. I'm tired, really tired. I go to Steam client and quit it. No, there's nothing you can do with it. This would be the end. Okay, good. Go back to the stream itself and rename it from Let's Play to Long Play. Long Play. Stream 1.2. Replace Let's with Long. Yeah, blind because honestly there's nothing at all. Also, this would be just a fun part. Technically speaking, a game that is completely sandbox, there's no purpose to do in it at all. Everything goes with the letter E. Let me check my own. Check my own channel. We are technically done, yeah. Technically, done. I'm still fighting myself not to fall asleep. That was too much relaxing. Let's see here. 21st of June 2024. Let's see here. Yeah, we finished now 98 games. Officially 98. Yeah, everything is now removed here, and instead of it, priority will be given to Postal 2. Postal 2 and the Book Thief. Postal 2 and the Book Thief. The Book Thief of Tales, the Booker Thief of Tales. Good. Postal was 99, which means, yeah, those will be officially our last projects, full stop. Postal 2 and the Book Walker Thief Tales are this channel's official final projects, period. If you want to watch any more projects, all the newer projects afterwards will be Rumble exclusive. Perhaps I would give them to locals or to mines or to BitChute. Otherwise, AdsTube is done for. AdsTube is completely done for. Now for the letter E. Let's see. Okay, so this will be placed after the Soil Humans A, B, C, D, E, which means it will replace number 24. Everything. 2017. Oh, yeah, okay. No need for you to listen to me removing numbers and adding numbers. What you need to know is now we are at 98. No, I will not return to playing everything again because it's a sandbox game that will never end. There's no point in replaying it or continuing it. I'm not an achievement hunter. Also, I checked quickly the people who made a long play for it. The very last thing the game does for you literally is just celebrates the fact that you unlocked all the achievements if you could, and it just plays for you some fireworks and that's it. It gives you welcome to everything and then restarts itself by itself. Really, there is nothing else to do. It's just a sandbox game. You keep listening to existential philosophies and whatnot, and that's it. There is no story behind this, just ideology. Hopefully next time when we play Postal 2. I hope. With that being said, I think this will be it for today's session. I'd like to previously upon all of my subscribers and commentators, followers, fans, and friends, everyone from the Beasts of the Empire, and everyone from the Discord server, free to my friends, Barinium. Peace be upon Thunderstruck Gaming, Adrenaline Gaming, Marcus, Not Crashback, ICWY, Rogue Agent, Carrodad, Tryfield, ZBTV123, Matthew 11 Sagada 45, Bob Express, Fan 28, Sawi underscore B, Crazy Dragons 412, Heavy Metal Driver 666, Tosco, and Grayson. This has been with you, your host, Invisible from Invisible's Gaming channel, the stage of the stages gaming voice of the voiceless. And this has been with you, the long play for the sandbox game, Everything, where you literally control everything. Literally. And it's the only game so far in existence where you can make buildings breed smaller buildings. You can make stones breed smaller stones, and you can even control the clouds to breed smaller clouds. Yeah, you start as atoms and you go up to galaxies and black holes and whatnot, and you turn to the very basic mathematical forms, as in telling you that there is nothing else above or beyond this. Anyway, till next time, until next project, whatever that will be, make sure to stay careful, stay healthy, and stay safe. We are living in a merciless, unforgiving, unforgivable hell. Anything can happen. Make sure you keep your friends and family close to you. Keep your enemies a bit closer. You don't know where the help will come from. Make sure to keep a kid and the attitude will renew. It is much easier and simpler to take catastrophe for you than it is to give flowers for the games of the dead. Till next time, whenever that will be. Whenever that will be, Invisible with you, sign out. Quick final thoughts about everything, since we literally just did a longer play. How much did I give the game? I give it a 6 out of 10. I give it a 2.4 out of 5. This is not a game, this is a sandbox program. There is no progression, you just keep jumping from some place to some place, and you just keep answering philosophical questions. There's no progress to be done. The entire story is just a philosophy about everything and being part of everything. That's it. So do I recommend it? If you wish to waste some time, I recommend it. If you wish to actually do something useful with your lives, I don't. Anything else? No, we're done. Thanks all for your attention and take care.